Cognitive Identify is going to challenge the athlete's spatial awareness and working memory. Use your 12 data set discs for this activity. Randomly place the data discs around the inside of your Maverick. This is a great timed activity to use for progress tracking. You can choose to have the athlete work through 1 to 5 rounds depending on the skill level. The first round, the athlete's going to locate data set 1 and say I, then data set 2 and say M, then data set 3 and say S, data set 4 and say Z. They're going to work their way up to data set number 12. Here I'm showing you on the table, but your athlete is going to be working inside the Maverick completing this task. You can see our athlete is moving her head and her eyes around, trying to locate those data sets in the proper sequence. Round 2, you go back to number 1 and say 52. Then locate number 2, say 30. Locate number 3 and say 9. The athlete is trying to recall the location of the data set and then find the appropriate information and identify that information for the coach. Each round, the athlete should get better at remembering where the dataset location was. For example, you should start to remember where location number 1 is. By the time you go to the third round, you know where the number 2 is. You'll say 6T, 3, 3Y, 4, 9U, and continue all the way up to 12 once again for round 3. The athlete is continuously looking around, gathering information. There's a heavy cognitive load with this task, and you may get a little bit fatigued as you continue on. Round 4 is going to be the direction of the arrow. Again, you'll go back to 1, and you'll say left, and then 2, say right. Find the 3, down. Easy enough on the table, but when they're put inside the Maverick in a 360-degree space, it's much more challenging to work around and hold all of that information in your head as you're completing the task. This is a great challenge, and again, I suggest you time this event. For the 5th and final round, we're going to locate the icons. You'll go back, find the data sets 1 through 12 in sequential order, and call out the icon that's associated with that data disk. Yes, you could start with 1, 2, or 3 rounds, work your athletes up to a total of 5 rounds in a row. We want our athletes to be able to gather information and process that information and make decisions. This is a great way to practice that, and it's mentally challenging for sure. Let's talk about ways to increase the challenge here for your athlete. There we go, the pirate patch. This is a great activity to use single eye training, and you'll be amazed at how just using one eye can change the landscape of this activity. Other coaching tips include scramble the data sets often for your athlete, time the athlete to monitor progress, and combine other athletic variables like using banded resistance, using different lunge positions. Also use a laser for more accuracy.